Hello, and welcome to episode 3 of Calm Hustle ClayTime. My name is Tanya Hagery, and I am glad you have found me. If this is the first time you have ever kind of discovered any of my work or run across me online, I have an e-commerce business in the wellness space. So I help people save money on everyday household consumer goods items with a manufacturer here in the United States. And shop online, add more convenience. I had a 10-year career in public health. My background is master's in healthcare administration. So I am passionate about wellness, always have been, and getting fewer toxins in the home, but most of all, doing it in a convenient way so people can really sustain that lifestyle. I have had a number of different businesses, including owning a franchise and some different online businesses as well. And I'm a passionate entrepreneur. I've always said I'm the entrepreneur behind the artist. My husband of 25 years has always been the artist in our household. He paints beautifully. He is on the computer doing all kinds of coding and chaos that I don't understand at all. And I've never considered myself to have any artistic ability. You guys, during school, I can remember getting out of art in first grade in order to read my book. Like, just no tendencies whatsoever. And what I am excited about recently is the ability and the feeling I get when I play with clay. All of a sudden, it is like an artist inside of me has been unleashed. And I love it, especially right now, because the state of our world is simply just a lot. And there's something about getting to work with your hands and getting to create something tangible that is, I think, really, really healthy for the nervous system. And I love watching the before and afters and the maker videos of all of it as well. So I think there's a lot there, and I thought I would share it with you. And it's a fun little medium to have a conversation around. So today I'm going to be talking about some of the first projects that we made on the wheel. We've been taking wheel throwing classes, and I'm going to show you one of the second projects that I finished with air dry clay. So that means you don't need to fire it. You don't need any other resources. You can just make it at home. It dries in the air. You can paint it here. You can do anything you want with it. I finished one of those projects first. So all kinds of exciting things to share with you and to talk around. Another exciting thing that I have launched online is my financial flow mini course, and it is tax time. So I wanted to get that out to you since a lot of people are paying attention to how and where they're spending their money and how they are organizing their lives in finances as well. So first and foremost, let's talk about one finished project. This is the second real project that I made with air dry clay at home. And I have a couple of different videos I'm going to show you guys. First of all, I had a package of DAS clay. It's DAS. And I've never played with this before. But as soon as I got it open, as soon as I pulled it out of my shelf, I realized it had been sliced, likely by this wire cutter that we use to cut big chunks of clay. So clay and slice right down the package. So some of it had dried out already. But regardless, as I started to work with it, that stuff is so tough. So you can see me here just really working with the clay and getting it malleable so I can make my project. So that was an adventure. And I did not follow all of the directions from the woman I found on YouTube. I will share the video in the description, the direct link. You should watch her explanation and tutorial, not try to just replicate off of what I'm showing you right now. She does a great job. So I will definitely link that below, but I did not cut out the template like I was supposed to do. So you can see here, I'm just complete chaos, but I'm getting it done. And my rolling pin and this ruler are saving me somewhat. But next time I will cut out the paper template and actually follow instructions. And that is the first relevant piece of information I want to bring to you today when it comes to business. I am finding, this is such a great example of not following your mentor. And in art, it's only art. Like I could recover from it and it was more difficult, but I still got the project done. Okay. In business, once you find a mentor and you are following someone, whether that be in their finances and they are guiding you, or in business, like with my home business, when I'm mentoring others, it's not as forgiving when you don't follow instructions or follow the system laid out for you. I always work through the system with individual people and their individual lifestyle, what their schedule is, what their natural skill set is, and then we lay out a strategy and a plan for them to be successful. If you have a mentor that is doing that for you, please follow the instruction, and the system should be able to be customized to your skill set, your time that you have available, and the influence level you have. But I have found that the people that don't follow the strategies we agree upon together, like it is painful and it takes a lot longer to get the results that you're looking for in many cases. And this is a great example of where my being stubborn is yet another reminder of coming back to basics, because if it's this real-time impactful in art, the problem is in business, sometimes you don't know the income or the impact on your income and the impact on your business. It's a lagging measure. So you don't realize how much time you may have wasted in the meantime by going rogue. So it's always good to bring your own personality to things, but following a system is really, really important. So next, here is a little bit of a look at me as I'm getting this more rolled out and my workspace. But Odie, my little dachshund, the blonde one, the youngest one, he's a cream. He is just always in the mix and wants to be a part of everything. So he sits on my little stool and thinks he is just a helper, and it is darn right adorable, you guys. So here is what I was creating. So I'm showing you the basic before of when I finally got the shape cut out and got the little holes put in it to hang. And then I'm going to be flattening that little coil, which the coil was harder than you would think it would be to create. As I was looking at my workspace versus Neil's workspace, fascinating. But then I used paintbrushes to hold out the ribbon and start my construction. So here is what I created, and it is actually a sunglasses holder. So I live here in Arizona, and sunglasses, we have an abundance of them that take up the counter. So it's a really, really great, fun project that I thought we could use right away. So I'm going to attach it here and then put it on the wall, and then you can just hang these. These are my most obnoxious 80s sunglasses, but I love how they kind of frame around your face. These ones look much more professional, of course, picked out by my best friend, Jackie. So all the different sunglasses, now these will just go on the side by the counter, so they don't need to be on the counter. And I'm really excited about it. I think it's a really great first project with a lot of utility. I was able to find this color to match kind of our accent fireplace and our accent cabinets that we already have in our home. And then the next thing that I did on this when I was decorating, which this is a fail, I won't do it again with this paint anyways, is I scratched in and scratched away on this acrylic paint. It's a process called sgraffito, but you do it a lot in more classic pottery with underglazes and glazes, which actually scratch away much easier. Acrylic paint has like a plastic type component, and it didn't scratch very easy. It kind of stretched. But anyways, this project is done. I'm going to add the string. I'm going to hang it up. I'm kind of excited. It is not at all perfect, but I made something, darn it. And that's kind of awesome. And I love how in the moment and present I could be. And one of the things that has happened to me in the last few weeks as I've gotten just excited about different projects and looking up these DIY things is I'm 45 years old, going to be 46, and I still wake up between 1 and 4 often. But instead of worrying about anything to do with business or some of the panicky parts of life and the world as it is today, my mind is often thinking about projects and paint and different glazes and finishes. And I'm so excited about that from the health perspective, like just to be able to focus on something tangible that I can control that brings positive energy versus my mind spinning and being stuck on something either in the world or worrying about family and different issues that are going on that are really heavy and real that I can't control. My worry about them is not going to do them any good. So the next thing I wanted to talk about quickly, and then I'm going to just show you a couple more finished projects, is my financial flow mini course. So like I said, right now, a lot of us are getting our taxes done, and QuickBooks and Quicken and all of those different things are great budgeting software. But when you are only focused in those areas, especially as an entrepreneur, it's not, I didn't find a way to really put me in a positive headspace around finances. And it's a very structured, like just, I don't know, very stiff way of looking at finances and money. And a lot of times the whole model around money and taxes is very masculine and not, it just doesn't feel good. So last year, I completely focused in on money mindset and creating the environment that I need in order to make it fun and flowy and energy positive. Because at the end of the day, where you spend your money is indicative of the vision and values that you have in your life, hopefully. And it all impacts the energy and how you live your day-to-day life and how you feel spending and being in that money. And a lot of times we're in a place of lack and restriction, budgeting and reducing spending. And you can only save yourself to a certain point, right? So I wanted to get to that place of abundance. And I created this course all about exactly that idea. The second thing I did is I share some resources so that you can think of your money all in one big chunk. So this isn't accounting, but for me, it's helpful to think about it in like one great big accounting, because sometimes you will spend money that will make you a little bit more cash poor, but actually moved yourself in a positive direction long term from an asset perspective or something like that. The other thing is, a lot of times in the entrepreneur world, we'll spend money that is a write-off. So we use that as an excuse. But at the end of the day, if you're spending money you don't have as a write-off, that doesn't really get us ahead either. So I love seeing things in all one place, so I have a big picture view of where I'm really at real time. And my financial flow mini course, the worksheet and some of the tools that I recommend really helped me with that. So it is now out there. It is free. Just enter your name and your email so I can send it off to you and stay in contact and reach back out if I can help in any way. But the patience and the process of going through that now feels much more creative for me than just a QuickBooks or a regular accounting practice, which is not really a practical reality, right? At least not one that feels great. So with that, let's get into the other things that are a practice. So I wanted to share with you, this is the first project that I had glazed. I did a white underglaze, and then there was this other one that gave a few purple sparkles in there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's really fun to see some finished work. So this was done at our first wheel throwing class on December 28th. Then it gets fired one time to turn it into a ceramic. Then you can glaze it, put the quote unquote paint on it, which is actually turns into a glass when it's fired the second time. So it's basically a 3-week process with the pottery location we're working with. And this is the other one. It literally feels like a weapon, you guys. It is so heavy. It is like a blunt force object. But I'll try to pop in here a couple pictures of the actual unglazed product and what they first look like as well. But just the the practice of creation and the patience of seeing it come to life over time has been really, really fun. And just, it feels so good to work with clay. If you've ever looked into grounding it all and like walking barefoot on the earth and that kind of thing, you get very much the same feeling working with this and just feeling just the whole process. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. So anyways, thank you for following along, and I will direct you to all the different resources in the description below. And I really appreciate you coming along and seeing the creative process, and hopefully some of the financial flow mini course serves you as well. So thank you for joining me for episode 3, and I will see you on the next Calm Hustle Clay Time.